Hello. Welcome back to Sunset Bird. I've been waiting a long time to say that. It is summer 2026. 1 year later after we played this. But we only did the first 3 steps. There's still more. Our life beginnings and always. So I'm ready to go back and see how our friends are doing. Aren't you? So here's the thing. I went to the load, and okay, it's here now, but when I loaded it was on this, and I was like, wait. Because I've updated some things on my computer since the last year. I've got a new solid-state external drive that all these things are installed on, and my sound headphone situation is different, and it's nice to have the surround sound for this. Oh my goodness, this music sound never sounded better. If I've adjusted the volumes a little bit, so if they're off, let me know. But I think everything should be good. Anyway, I don't remember. What was our last one? September 15th. I think it's this one right here. This was the most recent one. Yes, it was. It totally was. It is time. Oh, remember when we broke Derek's heart? I rewatched that to find out about that. So previously on not Sunset Bird, on Our Life, Beginnings and Always, if you don't remember, this is the story of Marina Foster. Marina Foster is a young girl living in the quiet town of Sunset Bird when she's 8 years old. A newcomer moves into the neighborhood, Cove Holden and his father, Cliff. And Marina is the kind of child who is very much into making friends with everyone in the neighborhood. She also is very active and likes to run around outside and quickly befriends Cove. They become close best friends. Marina also wants to cultivate a good relationship with her older sister, Lizzie. Even though Lizzie is kind of a brat as a child. They also have other friends like Shiloh, who Marina kind of doesn't like all that much. But, he's part of the group. Things go on and change, and then when they're 13, Cove and Marina meet Derek Suarez, a young man who also is into sports and athletic stuff like Marina, so they have a lot in common, and he's also the nicest person ever, so Marina really gets to know Derek well and becomes close with him, and has other friends like her cousin Lee, who becomes a big part of her life at that stage. Also, she has the most 2 wonderful, loving moms on the face of the earth. At the end of the summer, Derek asks Marina if they want to have a pact to become, to get together in 10 years after everything, if they're both still single. And Marina breaks his heart by telling him she can't do that, because Marina is discovering things about herself, that she is asexual, maybe aromantic, and also that Marina doesn't really identify as a girl. And as a teenager, Marina becomes more changes their pronouns to they, them. And still continues the relationship with Cove, but also makes new friends like Miranda and Terry. And Mr. Baxter Ward, who visits the neighborhood for the summer, who Marina doesn't really like enough to hang out with, but can tolerate inviting along for some outings because she wants to try to be friendly to everyone. A lot of stuff happens and changes. But it's time to go back to Sunset Bird after some time has passed. After high school graduation, and Marina planned to take a trip around the world and find her future, find out find out who they really are. I'm gonna probably use the wrong pronouns, but honestly, I've gotten better at using they them pronouns for people, so I'm really gonna do my best to call them what they are. It sounds more natural to me now than it used to use they them. So let's find out the story of the story of Marina Foster ends. I didn't start a timer at the beginning of this, and this game doesn't have any mercy on anyone with a timer, so I'm gonna do it right now. Let's go. So we found our save here, just in time. Here you can choose which epilogue to play. Note you can only play one and then the game will end. Enjoy. So, You know what I'm gonna do, right? I think I might have even talked about this. I didn't go back and watch my last video. We're doing Derek. This is the story of Marina and Derek. Cove is her best friend. We didn't romance Baxter. Romance in quotation marks, because Marina didn't romance anybody. She gets a little chummy with Cove, or they get a little chummy with Cove. I think there was even a moment when they were open to the idea of like sex. So maybe not asexual. Yeah, that's right. Marina is aromantic, not asexual. Marina will have sex if they want to. But let's find out what happened to Marina and Derek Suarez. Okay, we gotta do the in-between first. So just like all the other steps, it's 5 years later from our last step. It's been... Marina was 18 last time, now they will be 23. So, what kind of a person have they become? Oh my goodness, I haven't even thought about it. I'm so excited. I'm gonna change the hair, maybe. I have to change the hair in every step. Everything else, I think we're gonna leave the same. I watched where I agonized over, like, face shape and stuff, and I really don't think it matters. What does this change to? It just... Yeah, I don't know how your eyes would get like that. How do your eyes get like this? Wow, that's a lot of... Wow, that kind of looks spooky. Anyway, we were rectangle with eyelashes. Does Marina do eyelashes anymore, or do they pluck them? I think Marina plucks their eyelashes now. Yeah. Nah, Marina still maintains some femininity, I think. I think they're kind of like that. They have a little bit of... But anyway, I was really considering at one point having this be a different color. Maybe we do that now. Maybe it's finally time for Marina to have dyed their hair. But let's see. As an adult... This is where it would take a million years to figure this out, probably. Because I like to change it in every... So you could do two tones. Which would be, you know... Does this change? No. This is the only way to change the two-tone. That looks really weird because it's the same tone. That's something I kind of thought about, was what if they had black now and orange? I forget, honestly, what Marina's hair... I think Marina's hair color was green. I think so. I don't think we'll do any of that, though. Are they done hiding? It gives me very Scootaloo vibes, is the problem. I like the pony the way it was. Or did we do that? Ooh, that's not... I don't think that's Marina, no. I liked pulled back before, I remember. It's not long. I like that. I think. I did like bald as a child because I didn't understand. I thought they might do... Do we want to do this? No. I don't think so. Marina had a good relationship with Terry because Terry, oh wait. We don't know that yet. That has to happen. Terry was a lot like Marina, I will just say that. They probably get along. I'm really excited. Our Life 2, Now and Forever, is coming out. At least the majority of it is coming out this fall. Or this autumn. We're gonna be playing that. Shave. Small curls, beaded, swept up. So oh wait. I give you Act 4 Marina Foster, ladies and gentlemen. There it is. So, what did the second Freckles? Do we want to have that have happened? I don't think we're changing any of this stuff at all, other than maybe adding... I never understood why I never added more Freckles, because wouldn't you get... Maybe all the sun... I'm going to do that, because maybe all the sun that they get over time would have changed that. And we're not changing any of this. There was a reason there was no necklaces. I don't remember a lot of things about my character. I will be honest. I've lost a little touch with Marina Foster. I tried to watch some of the videos back. But I'm eager to see how their story goes. I remember enough about them and how it was kind of an extension of myself. And I really hope you're doing well out there and you're excited to get back to this. I know everybody's not. This isn't everybody's thing, and I'm still playing the Doom. The Doom is going to happen throughout this as well. And this is not that long. I do have another visual novel type game planned for the summer, though. So this is kind of what I'm going to do in the summer, at least this year. And then we're going to move right into Our Life Now and Forever in the autumn. Because it's an autumn theme game, so we'll be doing that. So we get a lot of visual novel stuff. That's what I like playing. I really have gotten into playing these. So I think, yeah, we have freckles on the arms. Actually, do we want to do freckles on the torso instead of the arms? No, I like arms. There might have been some reasoning I wouldn't have done that before, but I think Marina gets a lot of sun. And that tends to happen when you get a lot of sun. I'm like that too. I have a lot of freckles on my arms and I think in my body and stuff, and it's only gotten more as I've gotten older. And it's because of all the sun that I get and my complexion. Anyway. Oh, tattoos. That's an option. Oh my goodness. Did you think that wasn't gonna happen? Let's do a back tattoo. Maybe a leg too? I think, at least for now. I think they're building up to more, but I don't think they do arm tattoos because those are probably too visible. They went and traveled the world. They didn't really have a plan for their future, but Marina really likes the ocean. They really like being active outdoors and doing athletic stuff. So I hadn't really ever thought too much about what they'd actually do as a career. But it's gonna talk us through that, so it'll be interesting. I think this is the kind of tattoo. I don't think Marina's the kind of person that would go overboard with tattoos, but I think they do enjoy some ink. None of this stuff, probably all the same. So let's go, change page. Oh wait, go back to the beginning. Yeah. I think this is who they are. Are we ready for Marina Foster Step 4? This is the quickest I've ever done this. By this point, I'm not ready to change anything. How we feel about Cove? Direct fond. Or is it relaxed? Nah, it's direct. They're still direct. Marina hasn't changed. Marina won't have changed in that. And we're not doing love or crush. I thought about it. Not with Cove. This is how things are with Cove. But, oh wait. Yeah, we were gonna do direct fondness. There's the whole, you could do the wedding. No, I'm not sure. Actually, we're gonna do, a save. I don't know what these other things are, why I have them. I'm gonna do a save in the second save slot here, in case I ever feel like going back to this. But I think, in case I ever feel like going back to this and doing like a what if she did Romance Cove kind of thing, or they did Romance Cove. Because it's possible, it could happen, and I think I had hinted at in some of the last Step 3 moments that they could get together. But I'm thinking something different. So let's look at Cove's personality. It shouldn't have changed, right? No, he's still warm and sporty. That would make perfect sense. Oh, wait. Okay, yeah, we're doing that. Oh, wait, no, that was Derek, wasn't it? I didn't read. Derek. Okay, yeah, next cove. Neither. Both? No, neither. Yeah. Feelings for Derek. I think so, don't you? Curious. Actually, or do we go arrow the whole way? I keep thinking it would be cute to see what actually happens if they could get together. Maybe the game still steers us that way if we go arrow all the way. If I don't like it, we could always go back and experiment with what would happen if they suddenly had different feelings about Derek. Let's just do this for now, and then if we decide that later Marina that we want to retry a different path for Marina, we can. I think that this is acceptable because the characters in Arrow, they're not gonna be developing romantic feelings. That doesn't change, right? So yeah, it wouldn't make sense that. Yeah. Anyway, let's do it. And so, your days growing up in the loving cradle of Sunset Bird came to an end. Oh, but then we gotta go back and read this, so it takes us back to step 3, so it's a little weird and stuff. I don't know. That's okay. Let's continue. In the years that passed since graduation, you've moved out of your childhood home and made your own way in the world. Yeah, Marina was moving out. Marina planned to leave. They were gonna go on a trip around the world. Travel and see things and become their own person. Maybe do photojournalism, actually. You lived alone with the pet. Live with pets. Live with Cove and his fish. Live with Cove, his fish, and the pet you picked. Live with Cove, his fish, and the pets you picked. Yeah. I don't think that they live with Cove. I don't think that they live with Cove. I don't see that. Why? I get this, that you could do this even if you're not. Like, you could just room with Cove, right? But no, they don't live with Cove. But do they have a pet? Like, I forgot about the colors, man. It's been so long. I feel like Marina would have a pet. I feel like Marina's probably a dog person, right? I don't know. Do we ever talk about this in the last 60 videos of this I did? I don't know that it's ever came up. I mean, Marina would like fish too. Maybe we do pets. Maybe Marina also has fish. I don't know. Marina probably would have seen all the work that Cove had to do taking care of the fish tank and be like, nah, brah. I'm sorry. Like, I had fish. It's a lot of work. It's more work than in just about any other animal. I think like a hamster maybe, or a rat or something is probably more work. Like a pet that has a little terrarium that you have to change the litter and stuff in and clean up. Those animals stink too if you don't do that a lot. Fish though, you gotta clean the filters, they're really temperamental. There's a lot of work that goes into raising fish. Dogs and cats are relatively easy. They're the easiest pets. I think Marina could live with a dog. And you... Oh, we don't get to pick. Worked at a fine company, had a business of your own. Co-owned a business with Cove, had multiple ways of earning income. We're still focusing on pursuing education. Would Marina, 5 years later, I think Marina would probably still be doing this, actually. I think? Because Marina probably wouldn't be in any hurry to finish it, right? Or did Marina... wasn't gonna go to school, maybe. Marina might just do this. I have a feeling Marina doesn't work in the same way that like, you actually have a job. Like, they definitely wouldn't have a business with Cove. That seems silly. Like, Marina wanted to, like, take over Cove's dad's dive shop. That's what they want. And if they could do that with... I wonder if you did that with Cove. If you said you had a business with Cove, if you could do that. I might experiment with this here. Let's see. I like the idea of them not having had much contact with Cove, though, and having grown a little distant with Cove over 5 years. I like that idea. So they're having to come back. What if you had a business of your own? What if Marina would have a business of their own. Because Marina would do, photography. That's what they were gonna, yeah. Let's just do that. Oh boy, you can even do this. Or, I mean, I was thinking art. Marina also really liked to help people and do stuff for people. But they wouldn't do that alone. We can go back. Let's see what art gives us. No, I don't think that's not... Okay. No, okay, that doesn't go any farther than this, so we have to... think about it. What's this? What does this give us? Okay, you don't get to specifically pick that, no. Had multiple ways of earning income. I mean, art, it is art, right? It's journalism. It's art. It's not... So this is as far as we get. It's just really hard to think of what Marina's future looked like. I needed to... I probably should have watched some of the last videos with Marina where I was talked more about that, because I think I did think about it at some point. I obsessed over this game. We're still focused on pursuing education. Nah, they weren't doing that. And we're not doing this because we want to be... yeah. Now, I think just one... Or do we want multiple? Because I think Marina does... art. Oh, you only get to pick one regardless. Of what you... Well, you know what then? Screw it. She does freelance... They do freelance photography anyway. Probably, outdoors and... It's travel photography. Like, Marina's one of those people that travels around and takes pictures in, like, exotic places. Yeah. Yeah. I had always kind of thought that was what they would be doing with their life. Anyway, so we're going to call that art. It's either art or writing, but I'm going to call it art. I don't know how much it'll actually get into that. Your family members went through the same kinds of leaps into independence. Liz and Lee both eventually earned degrees and started fantastic careers in new towns. But your moms and Cove's father still lived in the same streets they had for all those years before. It was comforting to you that there were some things that remained in the old neighborhood. And despite the ever-changing reality of your adult life, your friends were still your friends, though of course things weren't exactly the same for them either. Very recently, Terry publicly came out as a man and switched the spelling of his name to use a Y instead of an I. Boom! I keep spoiling it. I know the only people who are watching this already know all this anyway, so I don't know why I care so much, but man, it's just like I had been spoiling this and been like, I don't want to say it, I don't want to say it, I don't want to talk about it. I love that that's a thing for them. He also confessed his love for Miranda, which she excitedly reciprocated. They moved in together recently in the city out past Sunset Bird. One person who did disappear into the shuffle of your memories inside your mind was Baxter. After his vacation in Sunset Bird one year, he was just gone. We never did the plot with Baxter to learn his story, but he basically just leaves. Like he's like, oh, well, we were friends, but no longer. I was just passing through town. I didn't actually want to be friends with you. I'm Baxter Ward. Blah 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 blah. Anyway, screw Baxter. Enough of him. I don't care. That was a loss you felt. He had become someone you'd consider a friend during those days. I guess we decided that Marina was good enough friends with Baxter by the end of the summer. Because she tries to be friends with everyone. Anyway. And then there's what became of the sad little boy you grew up with, Cove Holden. Is he really a sad little boy? I think Cove was one of the happiest people in the world, man. Of course, he was still a very important person in your heart. Cove was a family, and it always would be. Sorry, I don't know why I did that, but Cove was a friend you could count on. Cove was your absolute most cherished friend. Yeah, Cove is like a brother to them. And luckily, things worked out for the two of you who still live pretty close by. No, unfortunately, you and Cove lived in locations far from each other. That's right. You don't live near Cove. He truly thrived in his continued efforts of cultivating loving and supportive relationships with his family and friends. You couldn't say his personality had changed exactly. Instead, it became more refined. Cove was a warm, inviting, considerate man who took the lessons he'd learned over the years to treat the people around him with patience and understanding. When Cove eventually developed a picture of the future he wanted to have as an adult, it ended up being a surprise to most based on his past interests. He went to college to study marine biology. Yeah, I feel like this is probably what Cove does regardless of what he's interested in as a teen, right? Like, that doesn't surprise me for Cove. I thought about that for Marina, too. But Marina probably is the kind of person that, like, also possibly, like, fights poachers. No, I'm just kidding. She's not a Roxanne Clark. Marina probably, like, does all kinds of, like, conservation stuff. And, like, takes photos for, like... I picture them as trying to, like, submit photos to National Geographic and stuff like that. His ultimate goal was set on becoming a natural resource technician, and he still volunteered with Orca when his workload allowed it. As an adult, Cove was also able to recognize and have diagnosed that he was on the autism spectrum. Oh, they do. That's right. They talk about this. That's right. Cove is the little autism bean. It was something that hadn't been noticed by his doctors as a child, but he was still the same Cove he always was to you, and he was just glad to understand himself better. Oh, I love Cove. It thrilled you to see how happy and successful he'd grown up to be. Growth and change came for the Suarez family as well. Oh boy, because we did Derek so here we go with the Derek stuff. Mr. Suarez continued to run the scuba shop with Mr. Holden, but was about the only one constant that remained. So, in this reality, Marina kept in touch with Derek, I think, probably. We didn't see Derek in Step 3, but they would have kept in touch with Derek. Oh my god. I don't know why this is so exciting for me. It just is. This is new stuff I've never seen before. They moved to a new condo in Prism Vista City as the three boys got older and the nest began to empty. Where is Prism Vista City? Is that the same city? Is that Los Angeles? Because this is Los Angeles. We live in Los Angeles. Or at a beach town, like on the outskirts of Los Angeles. I don't know enough about LA, but I know this is LA. The baby of the family, Nicolas, was eventually the only one left at home. Jorge went off to a local college, staying in the dorms. We're gonna get to see them. Then there was the eldest son, Derek Suarez. Derek Suarez does show up in Step 4, even if you don't do this. He left the area years ago to attend an out-of-state college on a sports scholarship. You kept in touch with him during those days as you had in the past. Derek had since graduated. You were sure he would have success in whatever he pursued. The long-term direction of his career going forward was ambiguous to you, but there was still news Derek had been able to share. He was returning to the city where he grew up in, and as always, Derek had a plan. The foggy and scratched glass door of the bus swung open with a gasp of air, allowing you and the rest of the passengers to disembark at your destination. So, Marina would drive, though. I don't know why they're doing this, but there's some reason we're taking a bus. This is a little different because it's the Derek story than the Cove story. In the Cove story, you, like, drive back to Sunset Bird and then, like, you meet Cove right away, but this is different. You step from the massive vehicle into the Prism Vista City bus station. Oh, this is the bus station that we went to with Derek and that one, like... Yeah, I remember how to do this. This is the bus station we went to with Derek in the part where Derek was, we did that whole thing. Look, and get some hot dogs over here, apparently. Crowds of travelers bustled across the concrete floors. A constant stream of strangers came from hallways, shuttles, and other buses. The station was absolutely packed. It was vacation season. Summer had only just begun. But the Californian heat was already immense. You'd be lucky if even a single day of your much-anticipated trip was under 90 degrees. Yeah, so I just got back from a trip, but not to California, and it was under 90 degrees. It's, summer is here, or they say summer had begun, it's probably June. I probably should have waited till the beginning of June, but we started this right after Memorial Day last year, so we're starting it right after Memorial Day this year. Dating the video, don't care. What was I gonna say about this, though? I had a whole spiel about summer and California, and I don't remember, but anyway, let's keep going. Arriving was still a great relief. Steaming in the humid bus station was definitely preferable to baking inside the metal walls of the bus itself. It was a fairly short ride over, but still, you had plenty of that already in the long ride here. And you'd already had to take a plane, too. The bus was simply the last leg of the trip. Did they look that far away that they need a plane? Yeah, probably. I think Marina probably lives east. I don't know. Marina would either live in the mountains or in the on the East Coast. Like, Marina's gonna go live where I think Marina probably lives in the mountains, right? In like Colorado or something like that. That's where I picture them going. Or even like well, would they go there though? I feel like Marina would want to be near the shore. Yeah, Marina might live East Coast. Something like the Carolinas or something. I don't know. I've never been to that part of the East Coast, so I don't know much about it. Or would Marina have... No, Marina might live just in, like, Northern California, actually. I feel like Marina probably lives in Northern California, because they wouldn't want to go too far away from Cove and, like, family and stuff. That, yeah. Like, Marina travels a lot for work, for sure. But I think that they probably do this. So you'd plan that in the long run here. Let's just do that. And then this is why we have to explain we don't have a car. You couldn't drive places. No. You didn't take your own car because it would have been even more inconvenient. It was too far for you to have driven. There was no way around the bus ride. You didn't own a car and couldn't drive places yourself. Or do we want to do the plane so that it makes more sense for them to have taken the bus instead of driving? I'm sorry. It doesn't make sense to me that Marina wouldn't drive, knowing Marina. Marina would totally drive. Marina loves driving. Like, they did that road trip with Cove, and I'm pretty sure they drove part of the way. I feel like maybe we have to do this. Marina could live in, like, West or East Texas, maybe. And the Gulf. That almost seems right. I don't think it matters that much, but Marina was all about independence, right? So they would have moved away. Yeah. Let's just do that. So we get the same thing. But let's do the... Yeah, it would have been too far for you to have driven. Let's just do that. But Derek had his own car, and so that would be your last bus ride until it was time to go home. One of your sweaty hands kept a slippery grip on the handle of your rolling suitcase. It was a well-worn piece, frayed to the edges with an annoyingly loose wheel on the left side that dared you to try to keep it moving in a straight line. You had it since you moved out of your mom's house, and now it was returning with you, at least to the general area, since you wouldn't be staying in Sunset Bird. Your accommodations were there in the city. All you had to do was inform your old friend Derek you were ready to be picked up. And so, in your other hand was your unlocked phone with the contact screen up. And that's where we're going to leave off for the first one of these. I'm excited to do more. I'll probably record more, but I think this is long enough. We did mostly the preparations for this. Are you as excited as I am to get into Step 4, Marina Foster's story? We'll see you next time.